Day 3 of explaining communism, but every day I do this, it gets more simplified until it reaches the masses. Communism is a liberation movement. Today, most people in the world survive by going into work and performing a task for a paycheck. But that means their lives are actually controlled by the people who hire them for the job. They don't hire you, they don't pay you, you can't afford to live. Why does some rich guy decide if you live or die? All he did to get that power was happen to be rich enough to be able to own a company. And the only way he makes money is if you do the work at his company. And as if that wasn't bad enough, now we have to go through those guys just to get the stuff we need to live a good life. Because him and guys like him own all of the buildings, the factories, the machines that make the stuff we need. Those guys own so much stuff that they own stuff they don't even use. In communism, we think that you should only get to own stuff if you're using it. We call that personal property. And personal property is good. Rich guys hoarding stuff that they never use is bad. Today we've got just a handful of rich guys standing in between us and the stuff we need to live. They're gatekeeping it. We think that's a bad system, so we gotta get those guys out of the picture. All throughout history, there have been weird rich guys hoarding stuff, so this is nothing new. And things only start to change when you rise up against them and say, this is not fair or right. Back in the day, people used to just share stuff more easily. But then, farming got a little more complicated, and they settled into something we call feudalism. Under feudalism, the kings were the rich guys hoarding all the stuff. So a bunch of business dudes had a revolution and tried to take the power from those kings. That gave us a new system based off of what those business guys wanted, and that system is what we call capitalism today. In capitalism, though, the business guys just kind of became like the new kings. And the rest of us are getting totally screwed over. Eventually, the rich guys are going to make everything so bad that average everyday people have no choice but to rise up and overthrow them and start a new system instead. One that actually works for them for a change. It's not going to be easy, though. Once everyday people have control of things, they're going to have to spend a long time undoing all the stuff that the rich guys built. Moving it all too fast could be really bad for people. Hospitals could collapse. Natural disasters could go untreated. So this process is going to have to be slow and steady. That means that stuff is going to have to get really carefully planned. But that's a good thing, because that means that society will just function a little bit better. We'll have enough stuff to go around, and we won't waste time making stuff nobody needs. That means that people won't have to work as hard because they won't be making a bunch of stuff that ends up in the dump. And also that the planet won't be totally wrecked by overproduction. People are going to realize that capitalism was actually super bad at getting stuff made. And everyone is going to want to take control of things away from those few rich dudes who are totally ruining things now. It's going to happen at different times, different places, but it's more or less inevitable. And once this starts happening, we're going to be able to build a better, more equitable, and less gnarly world.